And we're up.
Right on.
And the audio sounds good. So, okay. Well, we just witnessed uh, Sheamus get beaten by Dolph Ziggler, and they are currently in the process of one kissing the other's arse. This is what the wrestling entertainment is all about, apparently.
Yeah, something like that.
When you put Sheamus next to that ref, he really does look a lot bigger than he appears most of the time on the show. Look, do we have to fill this much time because of the missing match? Are you serious right now?
No, there is no missing match.
Well, technically there is because they replaced it with tag team, but it's not because they didn't because the pre-show was extended, I guess, because of its missing. I don't fucking know.
No, initially, Bad News Barrett was supposed to face Daniel Bryan. Then that match got cut. Then the Bad News Barrett versus Neville was moved to the pre-show,
Gotcha.
which moved the tag match to the main show.
Everybody got that?
So there's still the same amount of matches, just no Daniel Bryan.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, I won't. I'm sick of him too. I'm sorry. I love the guy, but enough's enough for a while. Like, give the guy a rest, literally, because if he's injured twice in a year, he needs to cool it. He needs to chill out for a while. Let him do something else. Let him go. Honestly, a guy like that would be amazing at NXT to help with creative and so forth.
Yeah.
You know, like I know NXT is Triple H's. Hey, there we go. So he didn't kiss his ass, and now he's kicking the shit out of him. Which, honestly, this is to me like a win. In as much as you want to really use this match to paint Sheamus as a full blown love to hate him, hate to love him heel. And he steals a line from Gladiator. Yeah, that makes me hate him. I you know what? This is good. This reminds me of the wrestling of old. It really does. I do rather like the way he wears his armbands. That if he puts his hand down, it's an inverted cross. Metal.
Yeah.
You know. Ah, there you go. Make fun of the town you're in. That's classic. Jabroni.
Do you see somebody in the crowd has a sign that says "Make him humble"?
Yeah, I did see that. That's great.
Yep, that's some good heel tactics right there.
Yeah.
In the record books, he may go down as a loss, but that's a win for Sheamus right there.
Did you see that Goldust cosplayer that was on the screen a second ago?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. You know, I think you'd get a lot more people getting into wrestling entertainment if you started calling WrestleMania like a wrestling convention. If you just call it a con, like everything leading up to WrestleMania that week, call it a convention, and then have WrestleMania be the
Yeah.
culmination. A lot more people would get into it because it would be a hip thing to do. You know, I love how they're talking about sportsmanship, like someone not holding up their end of the bargain is somehow new to the WWE. It's just like, give me a break. What does he even say there? I'm a baller. I love bollocks. I love Balboa. Like what's he saying? Why can no one tell me this? I want to know. I think it's a fair question. I demand an answer right after this. So, do we know what match is next?
No, I'm not really sure.
Okay. So we'll just put up the Extreme Rules backdrop because it's pretty fucking cool. Let's face it. And we'll just wait. But did they just show Stephanie McMahon put a lion's roar in her mouth?
Yeah.
Okay, sure, why not? Hey, I did not know that Foley was getting a new show. They're definitely getting. They need to really. I keep hearing about all these announcements of new shows, and I don't see them. I guess it's next week.
Well, they're all next week.
They better fucking come on. All right, the third 24, the one that follows, the Ultimate Warrior one, should not be Roman Reigns. Okay, he hasn't even earned that. I'm sorry. It's a horrible thing to say. I know it's a cliche thing to say. Um, that show is supposed to get me in the feels, and I just don't care about Roman Reigns. I have no reason to care about Roman Reigns, and I know that show is supposed to make me care, and I doubt that it will.
Well, yeah, with the first one being WrestleMania 30, the second one was the Booker T one,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that was really good as
Mm-hmm.
well.
I didn't know any of that shit about Booker T.
But
That
I
was really
mean
cool.
that's kind of how I thought that they were gonna approach it. Was more like, I don't know, established traditional wrestlers maybe.
Oh, okay. This is the tag team match. Okay. Sorry, guys. I spent like an hour getting these backdrops ready for all these matches because I wanted to give you guys at least something interesting to look at while you hear us. So, but we also realize that if you're watching the show, you probably have us minimized, and that's fine. Um, but this will later go on to YouTube and so forth. For example, there's already the first part is already up on YouTube where we talk about the match between freaking Dean Ambrose and Luke. Fuck! Why can I not remember his fucking last name?
Harper.
Why? What is wrong with me, Troy? I'm losing my memory left and right, brother. It's horrible.
Well, it's easy for me because he shares the same last name as the most evil man in Canada. So.
Uh, uh, fair enough. But we have we have a commentary on that match, which ended unceremoniously. Um, I don't care who you are. I'm not a fan of Tyson Kidd at all, but I mean he's a decent performer. Don't get me wrong, but and he's good in the ring. Don't get me wrong, he's a good ring worker. His persona annoys the ever living piss out of me. But then he's got an overabundance of personality, where Cesaro is kind of very all business, which is I like that about him, right? So, but the two
Yeah.
together, I think they temper each other well. Tyson Kidd is instantly easier to take seriously next to Cesaro, unless he leaves those fucking beats on, which of course he's fucking wearing them. I just want to punch him in the dick. Like, granted, I know I'm wearing cans. I'm always wearing cans, but I don't wear them to work. I have cans at work to wear because I have to. But that's not the point. He doesn't need the
Well, I
beats to
mean,
wrestle.
it's one thing if if your job is a WWE superstar, what the fuck do you have headphones on for when you're walking down to the ring?
Maybe he really wants to be a
It's when your
commentator.
entrance music is playing.
Maybe he's listening to different entrance music. That's a good point.
You know, there's kind of some similarities between Cesaro and Kidd in the New Day.
How do you figure?
Well, just going back to the point that you were making earlier about, Tyson Kidd being kind of a very flashy kind of guy, whereas Cesaro's very grounded.
Yeah.
You kind of have that with Kofi Kingston and Big E.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think Big E
Also, you have one person that I really enjoy and one person I couldn't give a shit about. If they broke up both these teams and put Kofi Kingston with Cesaro, that would be a fucking awesome team.
um, that would be ridiculous because Kofi King's got a lot of the high flying. He's got the great performance. Cesaro's just all technique, just an amazing, amazing talent. Um, Big
As
E,
much as Kofi Kingston has become kind of like a Royal Rumble joke,
yeah.
he's one of my favorite performers. Like he can really do some interesting acrobatic things in the ring.
So here we go. Cesaro versus Big E. Big E, who has a lot of strength, he's a tank. He's pretty nimble for a guy his size. I'm not gonna sit here and take that away from him, but I haven't really seen a whole lot of really. Ooh, nice jump. I. Ooh, nice kick. Are those new boots for him? They kind of make him look a little bit more elegant.
I think so.
Yeah, I do like Cesaro's new look. I don't like the trunks though. Like I think he needs to get away from the trunks. I understand why he wears the trunks because he's got a physique for it. I completely understand that. It's a very classic look, but it's very nondescript. And if his skill didn't speak so loudly for itself, I think that his costume, his ring gear, would very much just make him look like any other shaved head dude. And I don't think that's fair to his talent, which is frankly amazing.
Well, yeah, for him to catch Big E in midair like that was impressive.
Absolutely, and I mean that's some, when and also look at the technique in this match from all the people involved, really, because for Big E to be caught, he had to put himself in position. It ain't easy to jump that high when you're as big as that dude is.
Nice.
Wow. So basically, Big E just gave birth to Tyson Kidd. You heard it here first, folks. Ooh.
But I mean, that's the thing, like his personality or not, Tyson Kidd is pretty fun to watch. Cause he's always doing like all that sneaky stuff, like when you're not watching, there he is.
That's true. Well, when the crowd just finished yelling "New Day sucks," and now you are one after the other, just crowding Tyson Kidd, and just
That was a pretty good double team.
that's a great move. Don't get me wrong, it's well done. It's just not very honorable. And I understand that tag team matches, by their very definition, aren't typically the most honorable of matches. Um, but when your manager is saying, "What did we do? Why did we suck?" Well, that's why. Because you're acting like jerks. And look at Cesaro actually emoting and looking like he actually gives a shit, which is a change for him. It's good. Ooh. I'm the big guy. And oh, I wonder how that could have happened.
If they didn't want the crowd to chant New Day sucks, why would he have clapped 3 times?
I think what John Cena says it all the time, and it's absolutely true. You want a reaction. If you're getting a crowd reaction, you're doing it right. It's all about how you handle that reaction. That really talks about your longevity. I think that pretty much clinched that Kofi Kingston is not going to be teaming with Cesaro anytime soon. Ooh, god
Well, I
damn.
mean, that being said, I don't see New Day having much longevity.
No, I really don't. And I think that really, and we've talked about this before. I think the New Day really is the placeholder for Kingston until they find a slot for him because he deserves a better chance. He's great talent. He's got really good promos. He just hasn't found the right opponent. And I don't know if I would buy him against Cesaro, although it would be a good feud. I do think that those two together would be great. I just don't think creative is smart enough to do it. Like I have zero faith in creative right now, and I wish I said something different. In a world where Triple H can consistently
Fuck,
be,
Cesaro's
he
impressive.
really is. And in a world where Triple H is constantly touted as this classic wrestler when he really isn't. Um, he has a lot of legacy behind him, but it's attached to other things. There's no Triple H without all the individuals that he worked with. He has some great friends. He's a tremendous talent, but he's not like this classic, iconic wrestler that the WWE creative keeps shoving down our throats. And I honestly don't think it's Triple H that's pushing it. I think creative is just, ooh, god damn. I mean, am I an asshole for thinking these things?
No.
Meanwhile, you've got some current on the roster. You've got some guys that genuinely will deserve that recognition. Like Cesaro, like he's already earned a Hall of Fame induction, in my opinion. One of the most impactful, skilled athletes that the WWE's ever seen, bar none. I mean, just uh, he. I can't even. I can barely put it into words. Close your legs, dude. I want to see your junk. Thank you.
Well, I mean, much as I don't like to use, all the terms that the announcers use, Cesaro really is a freak of nature.
Yeah.
Like, for somebody to be that strong without being, like, massive, I don't get it.
Thomas Fireheart in the house. And Tom did say, to be fair, that maybe Kid was listening to his entrance music since Cesaro's is what was playing. Well, and that's perfectly fair with the beats. But maybe if Cesaro's music is what's being played, it's clear that they're pushing Cesaro, so that's one thing. The other thing is maybe your in-ring music sucks ass. Okay, just maybe. I I do not. I don't like Big E. I don't. I want to, but I don't. Like that when your name is Big E and everything about you just basically he's Big Show light chocolate version, and that's all he is. And there's no personality. I don't see any signature moves. There we go. I don't care how many times I see. Oh,
No, and I
fuck.
mean, that's another thing to love about Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. They're all signature moves.
That is a good point.
Everything they do is like classic Cesaro.
You better not. Okay, I'm going to predict the next pay per view for you. A continuous feud arises between these two factions. And, of course, they will rematch, and Cesaro and Tyson Kidd will win. Or something will come up. Or there will be some kind of strife in the. Yeah. that they did not win that match by virtue of wrestling prowess. It was an opportunistic thing, and I don't buy it for a second. Yeah, it's a new day, and you know what? I hope that day is over very soon. Fucking bullshit. Creative, you done fucked it up again. If you want to make the match close, that's fine, but you didn't make the match close at all. It was one-sided, and then out of nowhere, like that.
Well, not only that, I mean, it seems like they're trying to, establish a heel turn for New Day.
Yeah,
Having a clean win isn't gonna do that.
right.
Like, as much as, people are kind of upset that they got the win just now,
Right.
it,
It just
they could have done it better.
it's disingenuous. We do have a question from the chat. They're asking for showing film. No, if you were here last time, you know we got shut down for that. I'm not doing that again. We just don't have that option. I wish we did. We do not.
Yeah, we ended up getting kicked off, 3 different websites for
Hit,
WrestleMania?
Hitbox, Twitch, and Ustream. And I was banned from Twitch and Ustream for a period of 24 hours. Ustream was 72 hours for copyright infringement. So we're happy to provide you with live commentary if that's your thing. If it isn't, the only place you're going to be able to see this is the WWE Network. Isn't it funny that a guy like Corey Graves who's got tattoos all the way up his neck, he's wearing a suit, but your boy Jerry King Lawler can't be bothered.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But the thing is, it looks ridiculous on Corey Graves. The guy has no business being in a suit. I'm sorry. Either change your haircut, put some foundation over your tattoos. Like, if you're gonna have tattoos all the way over your body, just own it. You know what I mean? And that's fine. You've there's a clash there that I don't think there's a formal suit out there that blends with that aesthetic. And maybe that's just a traditionalist in me. And again, I'm coming from a place I have a sleeve of tattoos, but I don't know. I just think it looks dumb. And I realize I'm commentating on the commentators, but fuck it.
Well, you can really only talk about what they're showing, so.
Oh my god, look at this. Bad News Barrett wins. I wonder, You know, did he win, by the way? I wasn't here for that.
No, Adrian Neville won.
Oh. Was it at least a clean win? Yeah, boom. Okay. I mean, it's not the match that I wanted to see, but if you've got to put Neville in the last second, that's pretty cool. You know, um, part of me.
If they were gonna put anybody in at the last second, I'm glad it's Adrian Neville.
I'll go along with that.
Because, I mean, just seeing him on NXT and now seeing him move to the main roster,
Sure.
I'd spoken with Tom about how I thought, oh, it's gonna be good things for him. And he was like, I don't know. But I really hope that they're giving Neville a push.
He
Because
definitely
I
needs to
see
do
good
that.
things in his future.
He's a decent
I mean, there
kid.
were good things in his past. If you go look through the archives of NXT, he has a match with Rob Van Dam.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if he's worth putting in a match with Rob Van Dam, I'd say he's main caliber.
Yeah, I definitely.
And
see
I'd
that.
also say he's way more impressive
Look
than
who's
half
back.
the roster, so why not give him a push?
The street fight has continued. Apparently.
So they were just out touring for a while?
You know, seeing the sights. Probably grabbed a hot dog, Vienna beef. You know, it happens. They've obviously been out. So all I know is that whatever they did, whatever I hope they ate their Wheaties. I hope that Harper. See, I remembered. I hope Harper got some Gatorade because he needs not to jump a foot before he needs to jump. He needs to do some better. Isn't it funny how I was criticizing Ambrose's tells, and then Harper's the one that ends up being really fucking horrible in that match
Yeah,
earlier?
funny how that
Yeah.
works.
So let's see if they can get their shit together or if this is just boring. I really hope
I
that
mean,
it works out.
unfortunately, that's the problem with being any sort of performer, right? Like, sometimes you just have an off night and there's nothing you can do about it.
But I paid $9.99. I did.
Yeah, but I did the math. Technically, for this pay per view, you paid about 40 cents.
Shh. Well, okay. Let's do the. Oh, here come the chairs. Okay, all right, all right. I'm gonna throw this out there, and it's a common sense thing. If I'm watching my opponent and we're both throwing chairs, I would stop at about 5. 5 is plenty. If I need that many chairs, then I need to get some other people in there. Because as
I'd build a suit of armor out of chairs.
you would, Troy, you would build a suit of our chairs. You'd be really, cheesed about it. And the stream has frozen for me. There we go. Let's do a refresh in 3, 2, 1. Refresh. Just want to make sure we're on the same page here. And everyone's hurt.
Yeah, we probably won't be on the same page here. Every so often when I refresh, it gives me you need to fucking sign in, idiot.
Oh. Okay, so Luke Harper is getting up. And Dean Ambrose is, as usual, not selling his injuries very well. 2 chairs have been put on my man. 4 chairs. Oh, okay. If you're burying him in chairs, I don't understand. Okay, right now, if you. Being. See,
He's just gonna jump on the pile of chairs?
yeah. So I wonder if there's gonna be a Cannibal Corpse called "Buried in Folding Chairs." That'd be great. I'd listen to it. Oh, look at that! It turned around on him. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that individually, both of these guys are very good performers, and whether they're having an off night or not, I don't think they work well together at all, and I don't want to see this matchup again. I didn't believe a second of this match. Like, it just was not a solid performance. The intensity just did not match. There was no what's the word I'm looking for here?
Excitement?
No, it just there was no shit.
It didn't really seem to have much
Yeah, there
momentum.
was no immediacy. There was no
And this, like, them driving off was just like extended commercial break,
yeah.
basically.
Yep. So, I mean, the things they're showing as supposed highlights are things that were passable. Um, but when the match just completely lacks any sort of immediacy, I mean, there's just no. It was just very. Uh, I I realize that you're really stoked that you won, but this is more fun to watch. Like, his reaction to winning is way more fun than watching him actually
Yeah.
have wrestled the match, and that's sad. It's fucking sad. And Tom, yeah, I'm sure that they did wrestle each other in the Indies, and maybe, just maybe, Luke needs to go back there or again eat his Wheaties. I don't know what the fuck, but that match was just deplorable, absolutely horrible. I'm not saying I could do any better. I'm simply saying that for my 40 cents, I expect something better.
Yeah, a friend of mine showed me. It was an indie match with. I don't remember what Luke Harper's indie name was, but it was him and Cesaro. Back when he was like Claudio Castagnoli or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Really fucking good match. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I really just don't know what they're doing with Luke Harper.
I don't know either.
Like,
I don't think he knows either.
no, I don't think anybody knows. He's just
He's just, I'm
there.
here. And here we go, Rusev and Cena. Any predictions for this one? It'll be one of the more entertaining matches. I hope. I'm
Yet this one's actually going to be a really tough call.
Pats fan can
Because it could go either way. Like, John Cena's definitely got the edge, because, I mean, he's John Cena.
right.
Um,
Pats fan, I can definitely
out of everybody who's competing tonight, he's got perfect attendance for Extreme Rules.
Yep.
He's won 4 matches, drawn 1, and lost 1.
So, from a statistical perspective, who knows? I think that he needs to put on a really, really good match here. I think he needs to retain the title. But basically, I want to see just a really strong match. I need to see. I think this has to be a very challenging match for him, but I think he needs to win for this to really hold weight. Because if he just
Well, I mean, they're showing highlights of the WrestleMania match now. I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed that match.
it was really well done.
So, going into this one, I'm a little more excited for it, I gotta say.
Right.
Just because, I mean, I'm a little more invested in it, I guess.
Sure. To address the chat, yes, Pats fan, I can see your messages. We are not showing video because I'm not going to have my channel banned again. And I do like the fact that they found a way to give Cena a title again and kind of shut up some of the naysayers. I like the challenge concept they've had. Um, I think it needs to continue, to be honest with you. I think that's a great way to keep Cena going without it seeming like he just is showing up just to show up. I think having an open challenge and having him reprove himself to the universe, so to speak, is a great idea. And so far, it seems to be working in as much as Cena does what Cena does, man. And I couldn't be happier, really, because I think he deserves everything he's gotten so far. And but there also needs to be a push for the other talent, and this is having him be the U.S. champ makes way too much sense, and I think it fixes a lot of the problems that we've been seeing with talent. Do you agree?
Oh, definitely. I think it keeps it interesting, mostly just because, like, well, it's really neat to see what's going on with all the championships now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I mean, it's something that has been addressed on air. It seems like all of the titles are getting a little more prestige to them.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the problem I feel was, and I mean, I wasn't watching at this point, so I mean, what do I have a say in it?
Right.
But the more titles there are, the less value each of them have. So I mean, when they unified the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship, that brought more value to everything.
Absolutely, and I think
Because I
too
mean,
that
to
each
be
of the
honest, like up until recently, I saw the U.S. title as a pretty worthless title.
yeah, and I think that each title has to have its own. And again, we've talked about this before on previous casts, but each title has to have its own identity. And I think that the best way to establish the U.S. champion identity is to put it in the hands of the United States' best talent. and most All-American talent, and that's clearly John Cena. Um, Intercontinental's got to be a technician, and that's Daniel Bryan. And you've got to, and tag team speaks for itself. Champion has to be the face of the company, or at the very least, the top overall talent in the company. And right now, I think the roster is definitely reflecting that with the champions that they have, with the possible exception of the tag team champions, because let's face it, New Day is not that good. But they've only been champions
Well,
for like 5 minutes.
think
So,
they're still working on developing the tag team scene.
I in other words, I think that they need. Why is he wearing a chain?
Because it's the Russian chain match,
Oh, yeah, okay. That's a good reason.
which is
Bullshit.
basically a strap match, but with a chain instead of a strap.
And don't get me wrong, I think that's really cool. I think that using a chain is a great dynamic. I think it's going to provide some really cool opportunities. And I personally hope that Rusev gets his fucking fat ass choked. That's all I'm saying. Um,
There's also a lot of potential for danger in this match.
Yeah.
I mean, they say that there hasn't been one of these in like 30 years or whatever, but I mean, this is a strap match. This is a dog collar match. Roddy Piper got his neck broken in a dog collar match.
Yep. So, but I think that both of these guys being, I mean, say what you want about Rusev the character, but the performer, he's very very good. And I think that him and Cena work so well together. So if they can continue to find ways to keep this going, I'll watch these two wrestle all year long. I don't even care. It's a really cool thing to see. And doing something like is this extreme, this out there, if you will. I think it's a good way to keep it rolling. And depending upon the story they tell here, we could keep this rivalry going for a long time. We haven't had a good, true All American rivalry, a good one, arguably since Iron Sheik. I think that the whole Sergeant Slaughter Iraq thing was good for 18 seconds, and you're like, I don't buy it. But like when you look at like how the Iron Sheik originally was, and how that really worked out, Rusev's about as close as we've gotten, I would say, in a real long time. So anything we can do to make John Cena the American icon and make Rusev that ooh bad Russian, I say do it. It's entertaining. I am totally down with it.
Well, yeah, and I mean that's just it. Like, I, it's gonna sound weird, but I like that I dislike Rusev.
You like that you dislike him? That's a good way to put
Yeah,
it. Because he's
I mean,
inherently
like you
dislikable.
said, he's a really good performer, but you know, as the representative of Russia or whatever, I mean, we all see past that fucking charade.
Oh sure.
But as you know, like this whole America versus Russia thing that they've got going on, like I enjoy it.
Yeah. It is something that it's current.
In the beginning,
I got
it
a cat
seemed really
invading me.
contrived, and you know, like I was saying during the WrestleMania one, like the beginning of that made me want to fucking shoot myself in the head. But once it actually got going, that was a really good match. So, I mean, part of it is, you know, like, it's like I was saying before about, you know, how I'm more invested in this one than I was at the Mania one. Like you're saying, if they keep this going, if they can keep building on it somehow with good luck creative.
Right.
But, you know, like, if they can keep this going, it could turn into one of the most interesting feuds just because of the differences, you know?
Definitely. I just want to go on record and say I want that shirt that says the champ is here with the arrow. Just take the belt off. That's what I want. I want the arrow pointing at my dick. And that would be a great shirt. Thanks. Cena is it just me, or has Cena got a lot more lean muscle mass than the last time we saw him? He looks like he's lost some weight. Like he's literally trimmed the fat. He's like a lot more toned than the last time we saw him. Oh, and they even got the American flag on the strap. Oh, that's a nice touch. And yeah, if I were the referee, um, yeah, I would absolutely put it over top of the wristbands that he can clearly slip out of at any time.
Yep. Well, I mean, John Cena wears so many wristbands, it's kind of hard to find a spot where he doesn't.
Uh, Bo, what do you think of this match? Do you have any comments? I mean, you are a Russian cat after all. Anything? No. Okay. She's been rather insistent since we started that she wanted some attention, so I'll pull a Doctor Evil and just pet her on during this match. It'll work out well. No, I want you to win, Mr. Cena. So, chain. This is a tug of war, basically.
Uh,
Here's
so
the
far.
thing. I understand the story portion of it. You know what you're trying to portray in a tug of war. But from a strategic perspective, it is the most retarded fucking thing you can possibly do. Just let them pull you towards them and beat the shit out of them. Don't exert all your energy trying to have this bullshit dick showing dominance bullshit. I just bullshit dick showing bullshit dominance. That wasn't that made perfect sense, didn't it? What is
Man,
the
it's a good thing they put fucking green and red lights on these. These matches are so hard to follow.
I don't wait. What is the significance of these lights at all to begin with? You have to have all four lights on to win,
Yeah, you have to touch all four corners.
and once all four corners are lit up green, you win. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, it's green for Cena and red for Rusev.
Right.
But yeah, that's all it is you have to touch all the corners.
With a chain that long, how is that difficult? How? I don't. Okay, here we go. And John Cena's shoulder goes completely out of socket. Oh. Kick to the ribs. Okay, Cat does not want to be out of the picture, so we'll leave her in. Do you miss me? Is that what it is? Yeah, you don't get this on WWE. They don't take their pets to the arena. See, we appeal to a wide audience, wrestling
Yeah,
fans and
thankfully we
cat
haven't
lovers
seen
alike.
that since Mongo McMichael on fucking Nitro. And thankfully you're like a zillion times better than him. Actually, when I think about how much I dislike Mongo, I don't think that there's like a quantifiable amount that can be stated how much better you are of an announcer than he is.
Well, I do.
I mean, I'm sorry to get sidetracked, but
No,
fuck that
I
guy.
completely understand.
Like, he was a terrible announcer, he was a terrible wrestler. I don't know how he got crowds full of people cheering for him.
Lots of bribe money. I don't know. I'm a Gorilla Monsoon guy myself. That's my thing. Um, I didn't really like his announcing style, but I loved his delivery. Like it was very believable. It was very it was really genuine. As cliche as it may be, I'm a huge Jim Ross fan. In that he always believed in the integrity of the sport. He believed in the integrity of characters, and he wasn't afraid to just comment on what he saw. He believed in like the honorable way of conveying information.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of the heel announcer. I think that's the stupidest fucking shit in the world. Um, like that.
It really all depends.
Well,
I was always a Bobby Heenan fan.
well, Bobby Heenan is great, but he's a heel manager. Like JBL, I don't buy for a second. Like everything he says is so obviously heel for its own sake. When Bobby Heenan says heel bullshit, you believe it because Bobby Heenan's an excellent performer. Um,
Yep.
he's not being a heel announcer. He's being a heel that happens to be announcing. JBL is a heel announcer. Very, very different.
Okay, I get the difference in what you're saying.
Yeah, or look at like Paul Heyman when he was an announcer. Same difference. Okay, very. I would say I would go so far as to say he was like the new generation version of a Bobby Heenan, and still is in many ways. Which is why he's my favorite manager. What happened to the little screen top right corner of the match? If you're referring to us having a live feed of the wrestling match, you may also recall that my channel got banned. I'm not going to let that happen again. So I hope that he. Yep, here it goes. There we go. Aw, yeah. Okay, cameraman, little tip for you. Don't follow the chain because it takes all of the apparent momentum out of the motion, and it shows me that he's pulling the chain. Just let him do it, and it will be visually more appealing. Thank you very much. Your friend, Jim. Send.
Yeah, well, that's one of the unfortunate things, I guess, about this newer style that they go for.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of having the camera still
Yeah.
so that I can see all the action. I don't need you to zoom and pan and all this
Yeah.
stuff to convey the action for me.
Yeah, if you want to go
If the
multi-angle, it's
wrestlers
fine.
can't do that themselves, they're not doing a good job.
If you want to go multi-angle, I'm all for it. You want to give me a ring close-up, you want to give me, each side of the ring and change it so I can best see the angles, and also you can hide the things I shouldn't be seeing, I'm okay with it. But I agree that the zooming is completely unnecessary. It oftentimes, if you've got an overzealous cameraman, you're missing stuff that would be really spectacular to watch. It's hard to follow sometimes. Yes, I know I sound like I'm being an old fogey when I say I can't follow this. How do I turn this shit off? Um, it's just, maybe it's just us aging and not liking the way that things. I would love to hear the argument for that style of camera work, but I seriously doubt that there's a viable one. He landed right on the chain. I love that. So, ooh, very nice. Now, with that last move that John Cena did prior to the clothesline, where he was outside the ring and pulling the chain to keep Rusev from getting to the lights, that to me is the most compelling parts of like something like this. Like the mechanics of this is really cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to see something like this in the next WWE video game, for example. I think that it'd be cool to try something like that. Although I imagine the mechanics of that would be extremely difficult to program, unless you're using a really heavy physics engine.
What, you tell me the PS4 can't do chain physics?
I'm sure it could. But look at the way that 2K.
But that's for a different podcast.
Right. But seriously, look at the way. I mean, look at the way that they program their physics in like 2K15. It's kind of floaty, and I don't know that the way they do their physics engine would support that sort of thing. So. Originally, I was going to try and stream gameplay at the same time over to the Twitch channel and recreate the matches in the game, and I kind of decided against that at the last second. But maybe next time we'll do that. Tom just made a great call out. So Cena being thrown back into the first corner makes it light up, but Rusev climbing it doesn't. Thanks, creative. Why are you trying to punch Lana and the light? So okay, that's unexpected. And okay, here's the part where this part of the creative falls apart. I think they forgot what city that they're in. Chicago has an extremely dense Polish and Czech uh, population, which are many of them are Russian-born families that moved to those areas in the '80s. With the whole communism thing. So this is in many ways partially a Rusev hometown, and with Lana acknowledging the crowd, it's kind of like saying, "Yes, thank you for your support." Um, and it just makes him come off as a complete dickhead in all the wrong ways because he's a dumb dickhead.
Yep.
All focus should be on me. Ooh, nice use of the chain there, John. How is he using the chain to his advantage? The chain isn't even taught. Um, oh wait. Oh, I see why I was using the chain because he can't reach out. Okay, that's smart. I'll get that. Okay, someone needs to get John Cena on the phone and tell him that this move, this whole storytelling medium of him doing the STF and then having someone crawl their way to the thing and grab the rope, I've seen it about 900 dozen times. I'm sick of it. Find a new submission move. Thank you, your friend Jim sent. Unless someone else sends the message and it needs to be signed somebody else because, that'd be confusing.
But he just recently added that springboard stunner. It's going to be like years before he puts a new move in his arsenal.
In his arse and no? Does that mean he pulls new moves out of his arse? And no? No?
We got past that match without any puns. Let's move past this.
Do we have to? It's so much fun. Okay.
Alright, I'm just gonna say now that even though arse is a more accepted version of ass, it sounds way worse.
It does. Because pirates, I don't want to think about a pirate's
That's
unwashed
something
ass.
I've never really gotten.
Because a pirate's butt is arse. Think about a pirate at sea. They don't get to shower. It's way smellier. So, now, so at this point,
Another reason why ninjas win.
that's true. You'll get no argument from me, my friend. So, a standing accolade, and because of the virtue of him trying to get out of the hold, he lit up the two lights by hitting the turnbuckle, which at least is consistent with the earlier part of the match. And of course, no. You will note, ladies and gentlemen, that the crowd that was saying Cena sucks at the beginning of the match are now yelling USA. I'm a very confused nationalist right now. I don't understand. Do we like Cena because he's American, or do we like America because America? I don't understand. Oh look, two lights. First person to make a John.
That shouldn't be able to work.
First person to make a "there are five lights" Jean-Luc Picard joke wins. Oh, I guess they can each. This is an interesting mechanic. I did not realize that the lights could be on at the same time. So whoever gets to that light wins. Which is a good idea. I think it's a really cool idea. I liked that ending very much. I would have been very upset had he missed the turnbuckle and the light had gone up. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
However, it worked out very well. It was very interesting. It is a match I will probably enjoy watching later again. Not nearly as intense as I was hoping it would be, but I think it did what it needed to do. It brought some more character to Rusev because he needed it. Cena won, and it wasn't exactly easy. So, and it was clean. It was a clean win, which Cena needs more of those. And Rusev needed a clean loss. Let's be honest. So, In many ways, that it was
Well,
very.
I mean, that's another thing, though. Like, in a match like this, you can't really have a clean or dirty win or loss.
Uh,
It's.
well, the lights, no, but I'm saying as far as like, what if he like pull? What if Cena pulled out a gun, shot Rusev in the head, and then lit up the fourth light? That would be a dirty win. Okay.
Yeah, a little
All
bit.
right.
People might take that a little more serious than they take Triple H's sledgehammer. Oh my god, John Cena just shot a guy!
Now, honestly, it's a horrible thing to say, but I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be extremely excited about someone putting a squib on Rusev's head and actually like just my brain goes. If it was possible, CG or whatever, I'd love to see that. Honestly, not just Rusev. I want to see a head explode. I want to see them recreate scanners in a wrestling match, where like the wrestler goes when the head explodes. Absolutely, I would love to see that. I realize you've got to support your sponsor, but this is a pay per view, and I am a paying subscriber to this channel, even though all month long it's free. Um, I don't want to see
Well,
commercials.
free for new subscribers.
Yeah.
Well, at least this isn't as bad as the pre-show. They put a fucking commercial in between Neville and Bad News Barrett's match.
In the middle of the match?
Yeah, in the middle of the match. They could have, thrown in commercials, half a dozen times when, like, all the announcers were talking at the table or whatever. But no, we'll interrupt the match.
Oh, look, it's the most hated man in babyface wrestling. Everything in his power.
Yeah, but everything in Big Show's power still isn't all that much.
Nope.
I mean, like, Big Show was saying about how he wants to make Roman Reigns like the laughing stock of WWE or
It's not
whatever.
going to take much.
He might have to trade win-loss records
Right.
in order to do that.
That was a really good burn there. I'll give you that. Oh, look. It's a Divas match. Can we just hurry up and get Ronda Rousey and the NXT Divas in the WWE already and let these fuckers retire, please? Because there's only, like, well, I've said it before, I'll say it again. There's only one. There's only one diva in the current WWE roster that I give a shit about, and that's Paige. And her character annoys the piss out of me, but she's a great performer. I'm just sick and tired of this Divas roster. I'm sick of the fucking reality show bullshit. Just bring me some compelling athletes. We've got them in NXT. I've seen them. Bring them up. Bring in a Ronda Rousey, and let's go to town, man. Let's bring some fucking shred of credibility to the Divas. They don't have any anymore. From an athletic perspective, like I just don't buy it at all. And I don't care about the fucking shitty storyline. I don't care about any of it. I'm over it. Like I want to sit here and commentate this match like this because that'd be more interesting to me than what I'm about to see. I just do not care. But because
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this either.
okay, I don't have I have no idea what the storyline is leading into this, so I'm gonna take a guess.
I don't like you. I don't like you. Let's fight. Eh.
You know, okay, this little shred from Raw of Paige, saying this is my house is already better storytelling than the entire match is gonna be. I guarantee it. Okay, not buying any of this. Although I will say this, I buy the impacts. Okay, I take back what I said. Those two, those two in a match would make sense because what she beat up Paige to get an opportunity for the title. Well,
Basically,
well
yeah. They had like a Divas Battle Royal
here's the thing.
that Paige won, and
Well,
then Naomi came in and beat the shit out of her.
well, here's the thing.
So I guess that gives her the opportunity?
Here's the thing, though. That is a far more compelling matchup than this. Like this, I don't give a fucking fuck about this at all. Uh, Now, granted, um, is it this is Brie Bella, right? I can never tell them apart.
This is Nikki.
Oh, it's Nikki. Okay, that's good. I'm very grateful that it is Nikki. Do you know why? Because we don't have to hear Brie mode uttered once. Okay. Um, and the thing is that I'm not saying that
Which still doesn't make sense to me, because I don't see her getting drunk as fuck after she yells it.
Brie mode to me screams spread her on a cracker. That's what I hear. Because Brie. Look it up. But I will say this about Brie: she's cheesy. I can go all day. I'll just keep going with the Brie jokes, okay? I will just keep on going. Um, I will say this: I think that the Divas, like you look at the Bella twins, they're both athletic. They both are very good at doing what they do. I just think that whoever is in charge of directing the way that they act in the ring, the personas of most of the Divas, with the possible exception of Paige, even though she is over the top sometimes, it's it's so over the top that it's not believable. Um, the same can be said for the male wrestlers at times, but when your division is struggling for legitimacy so hard, you would think it would be a priority to fight for some degree of credibility in the acting aspect of the performance, and I just don't see that. I don't see any sort of they just don't seem to care about it.
No, well, I mean, they don't care about the divas, well, most of them enough to even give them last names, so...
That's a good point.
So, how's everybody else doing?
Yeah.
We may as well use some of this time to, talk to some of these people in the social stream, which is mostly Tom.
Yeah, there's a couple other folks out here. I am going to take the opportunity to drain the lizard. That's how much I care about the Divas match. I know it's a horrible thing to say. And it's not because they're
You're
females.
probably not gonna miss much.
It's because the division is poorly managed. And on that subject, I leave it to you.
Alrighty. Well, since we just saw, guess a failed attempt, I'll just go off on how much I hate Naomi's finisher. The fucking ass bump? I don't get it. Like, yeah, she's got a big ass, but like, why do you want to make that her finishing move? It's pretty much... No, it is the worst finisher I can think of. Because it's not like there's even any impact. She jumps straight up in the air, and you run into her ass, which is cushion. Like... See, these are the sort of problems with the divas that we need to get straightened out before there's any sort of improvement to be had. You know, like, the reason the fans look at it as a joke is because creative treats it as a joke. And I mean, like, the whole time I'm watching this, I'm just thinking, man, I wonder what they're doing on NXT right now. Because all those fucking divas are awesome. Uh, they, 2 weeks ago, they debuted Dana Brooke, who, personality wise, she kind of grates on me, but in the ring, I really like her, and I'm really excited to see where they're gonna take her. Um, I don't know. The main roster really just needs work. Really? Ustream won't let you say boobs or breasts. That's fucking stupid. Or rather, won't let you type them. Because I can say tits and, you know. Yeah, split-legged moonsault would be a good finisher for Naomi. It's pretty sad when the most entertaining thing about a match is color-changing souls.
Microphone muted. Microphone activated.
So basically, I missed nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. Subtitles, please?
What the hell is this about? How is this a coup of any kind? I think it's about a really shitty plot twist that has nothing to do with nothing.
Wow, Jerry Lawler actually drank some Mountain Dew. Looked like he fucking hated it. Tom, I couldn't agree with you more. The reason that Nikki Bella's still champ is Total Divas.
Mm-hmm.
Watch that show more than I care to admit.
I've never seen it. I'm so
Just
happy
because,
about
like,
that.
basically, WWE Network is like the radio used to be. I just kind of turn it on in the morning and turn it off at night. Um,
I am losing my mind here, and maybe you can help me, Troy. You're a writer. There is a word in the English language that talks about intensity and immediacy, meaning that if you're lackluster and you just don't care about getting things done efficiently, you lack this trait. I'm trying like hell to remember that word. It's something I used to use all the time, and it has completely slipped my mind. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? You know what I mean, right?
yeah, but I don't know the word.
Chat, you got to help me out here. This is a word that used to be a huge in my vocabulary, and um, it is just completely boggling my mind. And I'm actually starting to get a little scared that I'm losing my memory here. Now, granted, I'm going to work tomorrow, and I know I had a discussion about this particular trait with my boss because some people lack this trait. And I know as soon as I ask him, he'll tell me, but right now, I have no fucking idea what it is. I'm trying to figure it out. Bear with me, guys. I'm removing all the matches that have gone away. Count of 10. Nice. So we're down to 2 matches, and this is the first of the two. Roman Reigns versus The Big Show, which should be somewhat interesting if The Big Show is at the top of his game. Um, basically, I'm relying on him to deliver a decent match. So here's hoping that he does. Because let's face it, Roman Reigns has got about 4 tricks in his fucking, toolbox, and most of them don't work against the Big Show because it revolves around him being the bigger guy, being a powerhouse, and the Big Show is. I just don't buy it when people like that go against him. I honestly think that Big Show is going to have to manhandle Roman Reigns, and I sincerely, vehemently hope that Roman Reigns loses. Because I'm just sick and tired of this fucking guy. I'm so over this individual. Let him go away for 6 months. rethink his character, and let him come back and be stronger. Because you're trying to build a character I do not give a shit about at all.
Yeah.
I mean, when your entrance music and your entrance style is aped from the three-way team that you joined the WWE in, and you've established no individualism of your own, even after the rest of the team has split, that is deplorable. It is absolutely just. It's horrible.
Well, yeah, and I mean, that's something that we discussed last time, but, like, both Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins have really found their place outside of the Shield. Roman Reigns is still just the same guy he was.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But you have to build on it. And it seems like they're trying to get off on his character just being this big guy in black. And that's all there is. Believe that. Give me a fucking break. And he's wearing fucking body armor. You can't tell me that the punches to the gut hurt. They don't. I'm sorry.
I wonder who Phyllis is.
Phyllis?
Yeah, there was a crowd sign that said, "Phyllis, do me a favor."
I'm gonna guess it's somebody that person knows? Or don't
Nah, that's crazy talk.
people in the audience don't know people? And okay. Look, I understand you're a big guy and you don't want to blow yourself up this early in the match, but he barely took 2 steps into him. It wasn't a counter hit; he just walked into him.
Yeah, but you gotta think he's in the same family as The Rock, so he's gonna oversell everything.
Oh yeah, that's right. Wait, is this a replay? Oh, okay. So when you are barely, that's the first momentum you have towards winning the match. Let's just stay ringside and just kind of hang out and, you know, let's not go after the big dude at all. Oh, okay. All right. Please beat the shit out of him. Just thank you. Thank you. What possible relevance is his shoe size? Like, if there's any doubt at all that the Big Show is unquestionably the largest professional wrestler right now,
Why is he putting the table back?
because he doesn't want to use the table. No tables, he said. That's fair.
I'm saving Vince money.
Exactly. Those are $50 a piece, man. However, stitches at the hospital cost a lot more than that, so you better be careful you don't get busted open there, Big Show. Okay, that was a good kick. I'll give him that. But he just walked away from it. Okay,
Maybe he's going to get that table again.
maybe he needs to go get a fucking clue. Yeah, the symbol on his chest, that spider-looking thing, it looks like an SR. It looks like Seth Rollins. He needs a new symbol.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing about the way Roman Reigns conducts himself that in any way endears me to his character. Oh wait, there is no character. You know, he's got some physical skills that I do enjoy. But I would enjoy them more if they were attached to any degree of.
Oh, there goes the bonus on Big Show's paycheck.
Oh, yeah, he broke the table, yeah. Let's do right after he gets hit by the. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. You mean that kendo stick that's designed for practice? And it's designed for practice because it doesn't hurt when you get hit by it? You mean that kendo stick? Yeah, that kendo stick. You fucking break. You can just look up kendo stick on Wikipedia, and you'll see designed not to inflict pain. All right, let's refresh the stream because I think we're off by a couple seconds, you and I.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. I didn't mean to spoil the kendo stick for you, bro.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh, look, broken kendo stick. Can we have the Divas match back? Because remember, I take back what I said about it not being believable. This isn't believable either.
Well, I mean, it just kind of goes back to what you were saying about Roman Reigns' moveset not really being
A moveset?
good for going against bigger
It's
guys.
just not. It doesn't make any sense.
Whereas Big Show's kind of lucky, like, you don't really find many people that big, so he doesn't have to change up his moveset that often.
Nope. Um, I you can't tell me that Luke Harper. I got it right again. And Dean Ambrose used all the steel chairs under the ring. What's the point of? Here, let me sit still while you hit me with this chair. Let me lay down here while you hit me with this steel chair. I'm going to lay here while you hit me. No, you're not. Maybe I am just being a dick, but this is just not. This is not entertaining me in the slightest. I'm fucking. I am ungripped. This is just sad. Because the Big Show is just. He's acting like an object to be hit to show the power of Roman Reigns. And he's doing an admirable job of being a stone. Roman Reigns is doing his best to believe that, and that's great. Um,
Yeah, I know it's gonna sound weird how, considering how much I praise, like, older wrestling, but this match kind of feels a little too old school.
yeah, it's just
Like, I don't know, I've
it's a
come
pacing issue.
to accept, how matches are paced now,
Yeah.
and this is not.
No, he hasn't. His eyes are wide open. He's looking straight up, and he's blinking. But here's the thing, and maybe creative said make it a slow pace match, so that when Rollins and Orton come on, they steal the show, which they fucking better. Fucking better. For those of you that have been watching the stream and wanted to see the match, in this instance, I think you'll be very happy that you don't have to watch this because this is just stupid. This is dumb.
So he is gonna use a table now.
See, all Roman Reigns did, he didn't actually hurt Big Show. He was just helping him keep his word. But
Well, there's a reason for you to like him.
no. See, though, if someone actually said, well, Big Show lied, he said he wasn't going to use a table, now he's using a table, that's just kind of like saying, with Bungie saying, well, we're never going to let you upgrade these weapons, they're frozen in time, and then they're going, well, they're letting us upgrade them now, so that's just, they lied. Same shit, different game, different franchise. It's just like, ugh. You get it both ways and you don't like it. Okay, that was good. Big Show with a big spear. Now, is the rule that they have to like not touch them for that count of 10?
Yeah, I think so. I
Okay.
think it's just like you have to stay down for the 10 count.
Hmm.
So if you're getting beat on, that really doesn't count as you're just laying there.
Okay. I get it.
Because, I mean, honestly, like, Big Show could just pick up a chair and bash Roman Reigns for like 30 seconds and he'd be down for the 10 count, but
Can we please do that? Can we see that? I'd like to see that. Matter of fact, just have Big Show sit on his chest and crush his rib cage. Slowly, deliberately. I know it's a horrible thing to say, and I don't care. Mm. Roman Reigns up again. You don't say. Oh, oh. Take the big person and disable them in the genitals. That has never been done in any outlet ever. That's an amazing idea. No tables. I want to know whose job it is to put the tables under the ring. I want to know what happens when that guy calls in sick. I want to see the match where someone goes for a table, there's not one there, and goes, "Where the fuck are all the tables?" Just once. Is that so wrong? I want my
no.
I want my 40 cents worth, Troy.
Maybe one day.
Here's hoping. Ah! Oh man, Big Show rolled over. Is it just me, or is the way that they're writing these matches getting more and more cliched every single pay per view?
A little bit.
Okay, Superman
One
punch.
cliche that I'm kind of glad that I haven't seen much of lately is the sleeper hold.
Yeah, there is that. Now, when he nailed that first Superman punch, like it was kind of like a fly hitting a brick wall. Okay, good. Now I'm entertained. Thank you, Big Show. If you could just finish him off now, Paul, that'd be great. So I can get to a real wrestling match. Thanks. Don't act like the Superman punch is somehow like this really massive thing. He just kicks it out. That doesn't make it a stronger punch, it just makes it visually appealing. It is in no way a
Yeah.
more effective hit. By any stretch of the imagination, so stop saying that it is. Fuck you, King. Fuck you, JBL. Mike gets a pass. Yeah, I call him Mike. Because we're like this, me and Michael. Like this. Yeah, guys, remember his promise to keep getting up. And continuously boring me. Okay. Stairs? I'll take it. Wait, both? Okay. Okay. Now I'm interested. Get out of the damn way. Was that a Viagra joke that JBL just made? I like it when they get the hint and they move. Oh, they started putting LED lights in the fake cables now. That's really cool. It looks like they're live electrics. Good ad lib, Paul. Why are there so many Pauls in wrestling?
I don't know. Maybe it's a name that makes people want to fight.
Okay, let's try it out now. Paul, do you want to fight?
A little bit.
Okay, just checking. So he did all that time to set up the stairs, and now what is he doing?
What's going to happen here?
It's going. The momentum is going to shift in Roman Reigns' favor because the table just went through his wrist. Okay, this is almost as bad as that 1 foot jump that Luke did earlier, that Harper did, except that now basically Big Show just fell into the table because that's what he was supposed to do. That was an amazing piece of commentating. Reigns has to make it back to his feet too, and so does the Big Show. Thank you. I would have been lost if you had not provided us with that crucial piece of information.
That's Michael Cole for you. God's gift to wrestling.
If he isn't talking to somebody about selling Michael Cole slaw, he's missing a huge opportunity. Because imagine the way you could sell that. Because if you eat Michael Cole slaw, you're gonna make a lot of stinky, stinky farts, like his commentating. Who decided that wrestling commentating was basically a radio show for the blind? Um, I can see the camera, Mike. I can see what's happening. I don't. Are we living in idiocracy right now? Is that what's happening? We are in a wrestling arena at this time, and a wrestling match is taking place. Oxygen has entered my lungs, and CO2 is leaving. I can't believe it. Please into the stairs. Please into the stairs. Please into the stairs. Please do it. No, not him. The other guy. Are you serious? Did you see that? I don't know about you, but I definitely got that telegraph
Yeah.
about 10 minutes ago.
You mean like when Big Show set those stairs up?
Yeah. I Easy Mac, I definitely understand if you're entertained by this. It, maybe I have my expectations too high at this point. I don't know. I'm just this is
Not the table.
okay. All
That's the
right.
same table
Let
that took out all the announcers
let
for like weeks
let me
and
be
fucking ruined.
let me be fair. If you took all of this stuff that has been happening in the match, put almost any two other wrestlers in here, and sped up the pace by about 30%, it would be very compelling. As it is, these guys are going way too slow. I don't buy any of the emotions being said. Big Show is not selling me anything, and I don't give a shit about Roman Reigns for a second. I just do not care. Like, I have no reason to be invested in the move set that's here. I think there's nothing wrong with what they did. I think it's really cool, some of the stuff they threw around. But it was predictable. It was poorly paced, poorly executed, and with two wrestlers that just, there's nothing behind them character wise. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Um, but I will say that it is a great setup to the next match we're about to see, which is Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. Two legitimate, well paced, technical wrestlers, arguably in their prime, versus, you know, Big Show, who's way past his prime. It, clearly, they can't find anything else for him to do, so in order for him to continue to support his family, he's got to do these appearances because he's just not a very credible wrestler anymore. And you got Roman Reigns, who is just, I'm sorry, a shit wrestler. Um, through no real fault of his own, he's been given no direction, no good coaching, and if he has, he's not taking it. Um, it's I don't buy him as a main eventer. I think that he has no business being in the main event, and he needs to be redeveloped. And the WWE's refusal to develop him properly and force him down our throats makes me not give a shit about the matches, and I won't call the match in an ingenuous manner. I do not care about his character, and until I'm given something to care about, I will vehemently not care. No, he has not arrived tonight. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Just sad. Absolutely disappointing. So here's a recap of the pay-per-view so far. Cesaro remains awesome and needs to be a main eventer in his own right. Needs to be detethered from the tag team uh, world. Although I want him to stay in tag teams for the simple fact that the last good tag team we had got split up from a really stupid storyline in an attempt to make the best member of that tag team break out on his own. I am, of course, speaking about Goldust and Stardust. They could have single-handedly, well, four hands, brought the tag team thing back, but because Cody Rhodes is an impatient little bastard, he is getting pushed as a singles player, which doesn't need to happen. Um, so there's that. Um, Luke Harper needs to work on his cells and his tells, and his fells and his bells and his whistles. And John Cena and Rusev, keep doing what you're doing. Everybody else, work on everything. And here's actually going to be a good match. That's my recap of the pay per view.
Yep, that sounds about accurate.
They made me eat Brussels sprouts. I hate Brussels sprouts. I'm a vegetarian. Make me a sandwich, please. You know, when you talk about like the logistics and production design aspect of these shows, you can't tell me that sometime in the last 10 years someone didn't bring up the meeting. We need to have additional announcing tables set up, and just in case this sort of thing happens, we can just wheel it right out when they inevitably break one, so that these guys can sit, because damn it, they need a place to sit.
I think it would be kind of neat if they did. For a while, they had the announce table up on the stage. Um, I'm not really sure when that
I think it was like
was.
the early '90s where it was
Right
like
around
elevated.
when I stopped watching
Yeah,
initially,
it was
so
like
probably
elevated off to the
around
side, like out in the
2002,
corner, right?
2003 or so.
It was like elevated and
Um,
over off to the corner or whatever.
yeah, it was just on the stage, but like off to one side.
Right.
Um, and I don't know. I think that would be a neat option for, when they
Sure.
destroy the announce tables out front. I mean, it could lend a little more legitimacy, like, we need to get out of here. Let's go back up there,
Right.
kind of thing.
Is this tough enough?
Yep.
Okay.
Plus, I mean, it's not like they need to be at ringside anyway. Like,
Yeah, there's no need for it
they're
anymore.
kind of looking through the monitors.
If anything, I think they're just trying to harken back to the the heyday of Raw, when shit happened at ringside,
Yeah.
and that's cute. Um. By the way, if you're the guy in that video that had the barbell and was doing this off camera, stop. Stop everything. Whatever you do in life, just stop and do something else, because you're an idiot. Thanks. Sincerely, your frenemy, Jim. Jerry, learn to use a phone, brother. Why is Bo Dallas doing a promo before the main event?
I'm not sure, but I think that's my opportunity to take a minute away.
All right. So it's just you and me, guys. I'm gonna throw this out there. I feel about Bo Dallas and his gimmick the way I feel about Roman Reigns and his entire presence. I think that these are both guys that have tons of potential in ring, but they're just being mishandled. They're being underutilized, and they just. I just don't think that either talent is being done the right way. I do think that Bo Dallas has the potential as far as, on the mic and so forth, but I think it's such an over the top. He's trying way too hard to be, for example, like Regal. It doesn't fly for me. I think he could be a great heel. I think he'd be good at it. I just don't like this particular his particular flavor of Regal. Well, that's a little better. Shut your mouth. That's a start for him. Okay, so here comes Ryback, and let's face facts, guys. Bo Dallas is about a third of the size of Ryback, and I think we all know how this is going to end. Okay, am I supposed to be impressed that he can rip off the collar of his shirt that's already ripped in half? Oh, on NXT, I can see his gimmick working very well in a small setting. Um, I just think that he's just not particularly compelling in the arena that he's in. Like, you look at the roster currently, I just don't think it's a particularly strong thing. I think it needs to be more unique to him. Because all I see is a second rate Regal. Bo was doing his Bo Leaf thing, and Ryback wanted him shut up. She just come out and just started wailing on him. Yeah, it's dumb.
God, I hate Ryback. Like,
You mean Goldberg Light?
if there's one person on the entire roster that I can honestly not stand to watch, it's Ryback. I think he's so completely generic.
Absolutely.
I hate all of his fucking catchphrases. Finish it? Like,
like his career, finish his career. I like the guy. I think that he just, again, it's a lot like Roman Reigns that he just lacks a certain something. The the difference being that when Ryback's in the ring, even though he's a pretty stiff wrestler, he's a better wrestler than fucking Roman Reigns. And that's the shame of it, is that he's got a generic gimmick on top of everything. It's just like, come on, man. I just kind of feel like we're looking at a bunch of generic big guys, and you cannot tell me that the community is not being heard, in that we've made it clear over and over and over again that Vince McMahon's mission, like vision of these big guys selling everything in WWE, we're over it. We've been over it for like a decade. Like, when a guy like, Seth Rollins can be the face of the company now, the heel, if you will, of the company, and you've got a guy like Dean Ambrose, who is a barely cut, average sized person, and he's carrying the hearts and minds of people out there. I think the proof is in the pudding that just having a big guy no longer is enough to sell a match. You gotta be able to fucking wrestle. You gotta be able to fucking perform. Roman Reigns can't do both. Ryback at this point cannot do both, and it's getting sad. It's getting real sad.
well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, everything about the industry has changed so much that, I mean, with Vince's whole mindset of, trying to push these big guys, it's 30 years ago when that's what was the draw.
Right.
But I mean, like, now it's so hard to fucking appeal to everybody, but I feel that there's things that they could be doing a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, and I think the problem isn't that I recognize you can't appeal to everybody. The problem is that they're trying to appeal to everybody. You know, take a stance, and
But at the same time, they're not trying to appeal to anybody except the people that are stuck in the 80s who want, that big guy as their champion.
I would argue,
I'm perfectly happy with Seth Rollins. I
yeah,
think he's a great champion.
and I would argue that you and I are stuck in the '80s. Like,
even if he may be a little bit weaselly at the moment.
that's okay,
But I mean, that's his character. That's who he is.
right? But here's the thing: like, in the '80s, like, you and I are like fans of that style of wrestling, and we were a fan of the wrestling, not the fact that they were big guys. And I think creative's missing that. So, in other words, Rusev is going to get a rematch. So they are keeping the rivalry going. So I bet you I don't have this money to bet, but if I did, I would bet you $1,000 that Rusev loses because I think that they're being smart about it. If Rusev loses an I Quit match, he has to quit. He has to go away. And he's a really great performer. He can go off, be in Japan, go in Europe, go do other stuff, and then come back in 6 months or whatever and rekindle something. And then honestly, John Cena can keep doing challenge matches, and that'll be entertaining enough, and it'll keep things going. It'll put asses in seats. Um, I'd be very happy with that. I just think, once again, though, based upon that announcement and that idea of that match, that prediction, I think they're killing it too quickly. Could have given it 2 more pay-per-views. They had one more
Yep.
to really intensify it, and then like basically have him beat John Cena into signing the contract for the I Quit match because he wants to end John Cena's career. It's like, I do not want championship. I want you out. Like something like that. And then make him sign it. Like that's him, like the stipulation he has to sign the contract for that next match to get him to quit. You know what I mean? You could build that up for a fucking month and then have the actual I Quit match. Now granted, I could be perfectly wrong. So, whatever.
So, them just showing this whole video package here just
Mhm.
has me thinking, what do you think is their next step for Lesnar?
I will tell you that I don't know what it is, and that is a beautiful thing. I think that they're. I've said it before, and I do think, if anything, it's hold him back as long as they possibly can, and build the roster into something different, and give him a new set of challenges that he's never had before. Build up these other wrestlers as guys who can go toe to toe with a Brock Lesnar. Build them up as these very strong characters. Make a believable match with this guy, and then bring him back just in time to really show something, and use the time to build his character into this monster that it isn't just shoving it down our throat that he's a beast. Like, show me, like that thing at Raw really showed me that he's a beast. Even though I
Yeah.
did believe he had that capability. Um, so I hope they're smart enough to do that. And I see so many things in creative that seem like a no-brainer to me, and it drives me nuts that these things aren't being done. I'm not scared of anyone. I'm sick of you. I don't like this. I'm going to tell my mom. Would you drink my milk? Ooh. See, now, take Seth Rollins out of that conversation and put Roman Reigns in it. That's the conversation I want to see. I want to see Kane spitting in Roman Reigns' face, telling him how he's an entitled little brat. That's what I want to see. So, between this and the promo we saw earlier, I'm gonna go throw this out on a limb here. This is not for the championship, correct? This is a grudge match, no?
This is for the championship.
Uh, Kane's gonna come out and appear to be helping Randy Orton, but will inadvertently cause Rollins to win unintentionally. That's my prediction, that his interference will actually cause Rollins to retain the title. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because, well, at this point, I don't see Kane helping Seth.
Yeah, I agree. Not
Or
intentionally.
willingly, at least.
Right. And I'm going to have to go along with Randy Orton on this one. I'm a little sick of the business suit. I would like to see him back in the mask once in a while.
Yeah.
Or a whole new set of ring gear. Um, because he's proven over and over again he's still very viable in the ring. I think he's extremely underutilized. I think the whole idea of the Authority faction having a whole like slew of wrestlers in it. Um, Tom brings up a very interesting point. I bet both of you $1,000 of fake money that Kane attacks both men. I could also very much see that because Orton doesn't deserve to be champion if we're talking about what's best for business, and he's attacking Rollins out of spite. So how much do you want to bet he attacks both men and then creates the pin, like puts Rollins on Orton just to prove a point? Just be like, we still think it's best for business that you're champion, but fuck you anyway. I could see that. Payback is May 17th. So, those of you watching, and those of you watching after the fact, I want you to know that there is zero chance we will go on late next time because I always have Sunday nights off now. So, moving forward, that won't be an issue. And, it's a week before my birthday, so might as well start celebrating early, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I hope to fuck they do a better job next time because this one has been a really lackluster show. And I understand it's the first pay per view after WrestleMania. I expected a little bit of a not the A game, but it's sad that I expected it to be like a kind of a low point show. Like none of these matches, like they all of them seem hastily put together. With half-ass rivalries. The only one that I believed for a second was Cena versus Rusev. It looks like they're going to kill that again. So,
Well, we'll see if this one's enough of a saving grace.
still the best entrance music in the history of WWE right here. I love this entrance music. And not just because it sounds like a really good clone of Meshuggah. Has nothing to do with it. Is that new ring gear?
Looks the same as what he wore at Mania.
I didn't get a good look at it last time. I really like it. And dude, I totally buy him as a champion. I hope he has a long, long run. He deserves it. He's worked his butt off. And by all accounts, the guy has been very difficult to work with in the past. And, the elder statesman, if you will, had to really work hard to get him to understand what he was doing right, what he was doing wrong. And I fully believe that for him to be where he is, that he's taken to that advice. And the interviews that I've seen him in since getting the championship do show that he's humbled in the right ways, and he certainly understands how important it is to be a professional in and out of the ring. So, say what you will about his character being Weasley, but I think the man Seth Rollins, like, had his certainly tipped. I think he's an amazing performer, and I couldn't be happier. Yeah, this is the one thing. Where's the lock? There's no lock on it. You didn't put a lock on it. There's no lock. Hello? There's no lock. He latched it. He didn't lock it.
Well, if he locks it, you can't really get out.
That's that's the idea of a cage match, I thought. Am I missing something here?
Well, you're allowed to escape through the door.
Oh, okay. Shit. That's stupid. People always ask me if I like Seth Rollins because he's from Iowa, and I have to remind them that I'm not from Iowa. I live here. I'm not from here. I couldn't care less. I have no allegiance to any state when it comes to wrestling origins. Ooh, his logo on that belt looks really good.
Yeah. So, going back to statistics,
Hmm.
Randy Orton's at a disadvantage here.
Okay. In what way?
Um, Number one, in the very first Extreme Rules, 2009, he lost the WWE Championship to Batista in a steel cage match.
That was one of the things I was going to ask. Did you happen in your research to find out how many times the title has changed hands in a cage match?
Uh, that's one of the stats I didn't find out, no.
But you were looking for it, and that's what counts. There you go.
But also, Seth Rollins beat Randy Orton at Extreme Rules last year, because the Shield beat Evolution.
Good point. Ooh, nice hit. Now we talk about sells. I think Seth Rollins has some of the best sells in the universe by far. Um, nice. If that was a move, it'd be called the Spider-Man or the Wall Crawler, the Peter Parker. Ooh. Okay. All right. I want to go on record right now. If you're watching the stream right now and you thought the last match was a good match, I want to remind you, this is how you do a match. This is a match. What we saw before was a poorly choreographed um, theater fighting. This is a wrestling match.
Oh, and it's probably doesn't need to be brought up, but I found it really funny how all the commentators were saying about how, like, Randy Orton's never won without the RKO before and whatnot, and it's like, no shit.
Everyone,
It's his move.
right, everyone has a signature move and they tend to win with it. That's kind of like a tenet of wrestling.
It's like, you know what else Orton's never won with? The
Alexa.
rock bottom.
That's true.
Bringing up that he can't use the RKO in this match is probably one of the stupidest things that Seth Rollins could have done. Because it really brings no advantage to the table.
Right. Uh, maybe it's just a really poor setup to a new finishing move. Ooh, nice. And that's the kind of power you don't normally see from Seth Rollins, like him actually lifting somebody across the, um, the mat. I once again, Michael Cole needs to really like take a good look at himself because when you're at the point where you're calling out camera angles, it's time to go home, pal. Yeah, although I don't know how sustainable this feud is, I love watching Randy Orton and Seth Rollins work together. I hope they get to revisit this as often as possible. It's a good, compelling match. I believe their feud. I believe that they don't like each other, and I'm
Yeah, like these two have a good chemistry together.
yeah, and I would not doubt for a second there is some serious personal beef between the two of them. Because Randy Orton's a dick and Seth Rollins is a dick, and it's okay. What happens when two dicks touch? Wait a minute. Sorry, I don't want the answer to that question. Vienna beef hot dog, Chicago street. Wait, maybe that's what Chicago street fight is. It's just two gay guys touching dicks. Hey, there is an area of Chicago called Boys Town. I'm just
So that's why they went off in that car.
Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
This is a PG show. You can't show each other touching dicks. Get in the car and drive off if you're gonna do that.
And that is
And they
why
did.
Luke Harper was in the back seat when they got back. Just saying. The question is, did they have a drive-a-tar to bring him back? Welcome back to Jerry Lawler calls out the title on the line every 3 minutes. Up next, Michael Cole calls out the camera angles. So Randy Orton can't use his RKO, and yet Seth Rollins can use the curb stomp. How exactly is that fair?
Yep. Well, that was the stipulations they came to.
Okay.
They both had matches on Raw one night, and if they won, they got to pick a stipulation for the match.
And was Seth Rollins?
Rollins' stipulation was no RKO,
and Seth
and Orton's was steel cage match.
Okay, that's cool. I get it, but I just don't particularly understand the. Well, I can't use the RKO, but you're going to stay in the cage. Like, why not just say no curb stomp? And then have, like, the commissioner come on and say, well, it's going to be a steel cage match, motherfucker. Like, why not do it like that? That's a good question. Where is J&J Security? They at Subway or something? Getting a sandwich? Ooh, nice kick. Look at the speed, the power of Seth Rollins. Like, that's the kind of commentating needs to come back. Nice. Come on, Seth. Press X, press X. Press X really fast. I know this move. Press X really fast. Oh, and Seth Rollins didn't press X fast enough. Randy Orton pressing R1 very well here. Ooh. Sorry. Video game jokes. You heard. Love how they call it a kick out when he pushed him away. Just saying. Oh. He put his knee to the side of his face. What do we call that? Knee to the side of the face. A thon. Nice. Okay, at this point, Kane needs to shake the cage. Okay. A completely different event. I can see something like, look how high we are! I'm sorry, I just, you know. Tom says that WWE is going to apparently phase out this curb stomp finisher. Is that because of the injuries that are sustained or because of what it teaches children? I hope it's the former and not the latter. Because I gotta be honest, as dangerous as it may be, that is one of the most compelling finishing moves I've seen in a long time. Because when done right, it looks devastating.
Yeah.
And it honestly probably is. I can't imagine a version of that curb stomp that doesn't hurt. Nice reversal. Nice kick. See, notice how little time we have to talk shit when they're actually doing something in a match? Amazing how that works out. Ooh. Now, the thing is, when you see that, I have to wonder if there's not some guy in padded gloves behind the camera going, like, I just. like, and that name is Mick Foley. Dun 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 dun. Look up Foley, guys. Nice. Please win. Win immediately. Just jump down. Fuck it. Jump, 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 jump. Let go, you idiot. Oh. Okay, I have a confession to make. I almost honestly did instinctively let's go Rollins. I'm serious. Like it came to mind and I didn't do it because I realized that no one in the arena was doing it and that they could not hear me if I started doing it. Can you hear the cat snoring?
Nope.
Yeah, cat's out. I think Big Show put her to sleep. It's time. Let's do it. Um. Okay. If your job is to be a bodyguard for a professional wrestler, and it requires you to be ringside much of the time, and you've already had dozens of opportunities where you had to get physical in a real big hurry, um, why do you continue to wear three-piece suits to the side of the ring?
All about that style.
Um, no.
I mean, what? Do you want them to dress like Jerry the King Lawler?
Sure, why not? All they're gonna do is put on like some halfway decent like cargo pants, okay? Like cargo black pants with low cut boots, and then a shirt that says security on it. It's semi formal, tells what they are, and is practical. The 2-bit second rate, Johnny Cash look does not suit them. Tom Fireheart says that Randy may do a neckbreaker that's similar to an RKO and get away with it.
That would be funny.
He should do a curb stomp. Vintage Orton. DDT's vintage everybody. Or, okay, watch, he'll do an RKO anyway and get disqualified because it's not about the championship for him. How much you want to bet? I bet he can. He doesn't care about the championship. He wants to beat Rollins. I called it. How is that a direct message to the authority? Explain that to me. Do you have any idea what the hell he's yammering about? Is the pedigree somehow like when you do a pedigree, it sends an email to the authority that says "fuck you"? Or like, what is the? How does that work? Daniel Bryan is out in the ring. Shut the fuck up. This is the one good match of the entire evening. Don't ruin it by yelling that stupid shit. I'm sorry. And that is not anti-Daniel Bryan, folks. It's anti-WWE Universe. Look it up.
Well, I mean, really, it's just fucking disrespectful.
It really is. Especially when you've got two people in the ring that are really, really giving it their all. Because here's the difference between the last match and this match. These two guys give a shit. Roman Reigns goes out and does what he's told. Doesn't have any investment in it at all. Doesn't care about being a good performer. And if he does, he sure as shit doesn't show it. At least not in the ring. Where Seth Rollins shows every single solitary second that he's on camera that he wants this. Randy Orton shows every second that he wants this. I don't know how else to explain it, guys. This guy is just a really, really good competitor, and now he's getting his hair pulled. Now he's getting choked. Ooh. And now there's a cat on camera. I'm doing what's best for business. Haven't you heard me say that about 900 times in the last 2 weeks? I did not expect that. Whoever falls the floor. Ooh. Okay, now Kane's gonna do something stupid. Here's something that bothers me about the WWE and professional wrestling in general. There is absolutely no concept of the term accident. It's always that person's fault. Always. There's never a possibility that they made a mistake. Never. There's no such thing as shared culpability. It's always, you did this to me, you ran into me, and hurt my eyes, and you knocked me out. I don't like you. I'm going to revenge on you right now.
Wow, they sure scattered all over the ring for being both hit by that door.
Well, they had to make room for him to get in, didn't they?
I guess.
Boom. Come on. They're not chanting yes, do a Kane at all. Tom was right.
Yep. Like he's been watching this for a while or something.
In case those of you that didn't know, Tom Fireheart knows what he's talking about. Jerry, you're not calling a Raw match. People don't just join pay-per-views. So now he's going to do what I predicted he would do, which is do something to knock out Orton and manufacture the win for Rollins. So he will have done both things. He's conflicted. And it doesn't disqualify him because he's not a member of the match. Right? Oh, wait. I forgot. The rules aren't supposed to make sense.
Keep rolling, Seth. You're almost there.
So, let's recap this match, shall we? A solid story was told. We got a great technical wrestling match, and we got the ending we were both hoping for in terms of the winner. Couldn't be
Yep.
happier. But I gotta be honest.
The amount of interference was just about as expected, so it wasn't like a piss off seeing them like, quadruple team Orton or whatever.
Yeah, I think that the way that it worked out was much better because whatever you want to call them, J&B Security, like that gimmick needs to go away. Um, it's J&J, pardon me. It's over. I'm done. I'm over it. And so I like the idea that Kane took them out, and then he also got to tell his part of the story, and the win was essentially clean given the circumstances. Meaning, there's no question that he got out of his own power and so forth. So I'm cool with that.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what this means next for Kane.
I think he's going to come back full force. I think he's going to come back to being Kane because I think he's done enough as the member of the authority that he's become. It's tired, it's old, and I think what it really means is a rivalry between him and Randy Orton, and I'm all for that because here's why that's important. They have a rivalry going into the next couple pay-per-views, and then Randy Orton gets to plow through Kane to come back as a viable member of the roster, and then he makes a beeline for Seth Rollins, who gets to maintain his championship throughout that run and get some other things and put some other people over during that time to help build the characters, some people that sorely need it. Like, just maybe, I'm throwing this out there, Roman Reigns. Because there's anybody who can put Roman Reigns over as a believable heel and work with him and make him look good, it's that gentleman right there.
Yep.
I just want to say that's probably what's going to happen, so called it. I'm just going to throw it out there right now. So, any closing thoughts on the pay-per-view beyond what we just said?
Overall, wasn't too enthused, to be honest.
I completely agree.
Pretty solid main event.
That was about it.
Other than that, I mean, it was worth my 40 cents.
Yeah, I got my 40 cents worth. It's just a pity it took 2.5 hours to get to my 40 cents worth. I would have loved to have seen a version of that match that lasted 2.5 hours. I'd have been very happy. So there you guys go. Extreme Rules 2015 kind of went the way that we expected it. We expected a lot of lackluster matches. But again, when you're dealing with the first pay-per-view after WrestleMania, we're talking about building characters and new character arcs for the next year. So we kind of expected things to kind of be a setup. I hope they do the right thing with these character arcs. I guess we're going to see over the next month. So we will see you sometime in the next couple weeks on the 999 podcast, and certainly in 3 weeks for Payback. For the 999 podcast, I'm Grindhead Jim.
And I'm Skeletroid Blockbuster.
Thanks for watching, and remember, if you paid more than $9.99, you overpaid. Cheers.